Bill C-5, just another Trojan horse to threaten Canada's freedoms. Hey everyone, welcome back to Mac's Opinion. Today we're diving into something serious, something that could change Canada forever if we don't pay attention. I'm talking about Bill C-5, a piece of legislation pushed by Mark Carney and the Liberals that's being sold as a way to build homes and boost trade. But don't be fooled, this bill is a Trojan horse, hiding dangerous powers that could turn Canada into a dictatorship. It's as bad as other draconian bills like C-2, C-3, and C-63, and it's all happening right under our noses. Let's break it down in simple terms, piece by piece, so you can see what's really going on. Stick with me, this is important. Also, if you're enjoying my content, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to help us out. So, what is Bill C-5 and why should you care? Let's start with the basics. Bill C-5, officially called the One Canadian Economy Building Canada Act, sounds harmless, doesn't it? The Liberals say it's about speeding up home construction and making trade easier between provinces. Who doesn't want more houses or cheaper stuff? But here's the catch. This bill isn't just about hammers and nails or free trade. It's about giving the government, specifically the Prime Minister and his cabinet, power to do whatever they want, whenever they want, with zero oversight. Yup, the Liberals are up to their same old sneaky tactics again. Imagine this. With just a signature, Mark Carney's cabinet can label any project as in the national interest and suspend any federal law. No vote in Parliament, no public debate, nothing. Just a pen stroke, and laws like the Criminal Code, the Access to Information Act, or even rules protecting our environment can be tossed out the window. That's not democracy, that's a blank check for control, and it's all laid out in the bill itself, which you can read at the Canadian Parliament's website. Why should you care? Because this bill isn't about helping regular Canadians like you and me. It's about giving unelected elites the power to rewrite the rules while we're stuck dealing with high rent and red tape. Let's dig into how this works. The national interest loophole. The scariest part of Bill C-5 is how it uses the phrase national interest to justify anything. If Carney's government says a project is important for Canada, say a new factory or a pipeline, like he'll ever build a pipeline. But stick with me here, they can make it exempt from any federal law. Want to know what laws they can ignore? Here's a short list. The Criminal Code, rules that keep our justice system fair. The Access to Information Act, the law that lets you find out what the government's hiding. The Conflict of Interest Act, stops politicians from profiting off their own decisions. Think Brookfield. Auditor General Oversight, make sure the government isn't wasting your tax dollars. And that's just the start. Environmental laws like the ones protecting our rivers or national parks can be thrown out too. Foreign companies, they get a free pass to ignore Canadian laws, like the Investment Canada Act, which is supposed to protect our economy and security. Think about that. A foreign corporation could build a factory, pollute a river, skip taxes, and dodge the police, all because Carney's cabinet decided it's in the national interest. Meanwhile, regular Canadians like you and me still have to follow every rule, pay every tax, and jump through every hoop. How is that fair? A Trojan horse for power. Now, let's talk about why Bill C-5 is being called a Trojan horse. You know the story? The Greeks hid soldiers inside a giant wooden horse, tricked the Trojans into bringing it inside their city, and then bam! The soldiers attacked. Bill C-5 is the same kind of trick. It's dressed up as a building and trade bill, but hidden inside is a plan to give Carney's government unchecked power. The Liberals say this bill will help build houses faster by cutting red tape. But if that's true, why does it let them suspend the Criminal Code or transparency laws? Why does it let them shield foreign companies from oversight? This isn't about housing, it's about control. As one writer put it in the National Post, Bill C-5 is a Trojan horse that could open a massive door to corruption. And here's the kicker. The bill starts with a list of 13 laws they can suspend, like environmental rules or the Fisheries Act. But once it's passed, that list can grow as big as the cabinet wants. Today it's 13 laws, tomorrow it could be every law in Canada. That's not a slippery slope, that's a cliff. How it stacks up to Bills C-2, C-3, and C-63. If you think Bill C-5 sounds bad, you're not alone. It's being compared to other draconian bills like C-2, C-3, and C-63, which also gave the government scary levels of control. Let's break it down. Bill C-2, this bill poses significant privacy risks for Canadians by granting expansive surveillance powers to government agencies without judicial oversight. Bill C-3, this one was about health measures during pandemics, but it gave the government power to enforce rules without much oversight. It raised red flags because it could limit freedoms in the name of safety. Bill C-63, the Online Harms Act, which sounds like it's about stopping cyberbullying but actually lets the government monitor and censor what you say online. It's been called an Orwellian attack on free speech. Bill C-5 fits right in with these. Like Bill C-2, it throws privacy and Canadians' expectations of it out the window. Like C-3, it uses vague excuses, national interest instead of public health, to justify extreme power. Like C-63, it's sold as something good, protecting children online, but hides a plan to control Canadians. Together, these bills paint a picture of a government that wants to watch, control, and silence us, all while pretending it's for our own good. That's not freedom, that's Orwellian. Mark Carney's dictatorship dream? Let's talk about Mark Carney himself. He's the new Prime Minister and he's pushing Bill C-5 hard, hoping to ram it through by Canada Day. But here's the thing, Carney never told Canadians during the election that he wanted the power to suspend all federal laws. That wasn't in the Liberal platform. So why is he doing this now? Some people are calling this a naked power grab. In a democracy, power comes from the people, through elections and Parliament. But Bill C-5 lets Carney's cabinet bypass Parliament entirely. They can pick and choose which laws to follow, which companies to favor, and which rules to ignore, all without asking you or me. That's not how a prime minister acts. That's how a dictator does. And it's not just conservatives saying this. Even some liberals, like MP Nate Erskine-Smith, are worried. He said in Parliament that if a conservative government tried this, liberals would scream. So why are they okay with it now? Maybe Carney doesn't care about being re-elected. Maybe he's got bigger plans. Either way, this bill is a giant step toward a Canada where one man and his buddies call all the shots.
This federal government is proposing to shut down democratic debate, curtail committee scrutiny, and jam the bill through the legislature. It would all actually make Harper blush. Liberals would rightly scream, that we would scream if a federal conservative government attempted the same.
What happens if this passes? If Bill C-5 becomes law, Canada changes overnight. Imagine a country where a foreign company builds a factory on a national park, skips environmental rules, and pays no taxes because Carney says it's in the national interest. A government-favored business ignores conflict of interest laws, making politicians rich while you pay the price. Again, think Brookfield. You try to find out what's going on, but the Access to Information Act doesn't apply, so you're left in the dark. The Auditor General can't check if your tax dollars are being wasted because oversight's been suspended. This isn't some far-off dystopia. This is what Bill C-5 makes possible. And once that power is in Carney's hands, good luck taking it back. As one ex-user put it, Bill C-5 is Canada's constitutional time bomb. Conclusion: time to wake up, Canada. So there you have it. Bill C-5 isn't about building homes or boosting trade. It's a Trojan horse for power, letting Mark Carney and his cabinet suspend any law they want, all in the name of national interest. It's as dangerous as bills like C-2, C-3, and C-63, part of a bigger plan to control Canadians, not support us. This is Orwellian stuff, folks, and it's happening right now. We can't sit back and let this slide. Read the bill yourself on their website, links in description. Talk to your friends, your family, your neighbors. Share this video before Carney rams this through. And most importantly, speak up. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this is wrong? What are you gonna do about it? Your voice matters. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps us reach more Canadians who need to hear this. Let's keep the conversation going and fight for a Canada that stays free. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!